Hello no one, and welcome back to reading SCP files. In the last video, we had a very horrible time. In this one, I hope we don't have such a horrible... Oh god, watch it be worse. I don't remember it being worse, so I think we're good. Using my memory is about as useful as using the sounds in Alien Isolation, which is to say, extremely fucking useless. You see, it's not always there, and that can cause problems. Many, many problems. Regardless, the factory is done with. We don't ever have to worry about it again. I hope. So now we can move on to this one, which is the spiral path. I nearly fucking forgot. It's 3 words. You would think it's simple to remember, but no, apparently fucking not. Like I said, fucking useless. The fuck me. Oh shit, I forgot to take the medicine. Well, better late than never. Better on time than late. That was weird to watch. But enough about that, let's actually get into reading. Hopefully something that's better than the last one. Hopefully. So, like I said, this is Dr. Mann's proposal, that being the spiral path. And the only thing that I really remember about it is that it's a path that spirals. How could you figure that one out? No, I think it's a thing of like it goes infinitely. Possibly. Probably. Anyways, let's get this started. Item number is SCP-001. Insert overused joke here. Object class is Embla. Which, I'm glad I actually looked at that before I started recording, because I could not fucking tell you what it was. Someone had actually left a comment to, list, I guess, of all of the object classes that have been used in the SCP files, and, well, there were a lot, and to show you what I mean, we have it here. Yeah, it's a fuck ton. I have this bookmark, do not worry, if I ever need it, I will fucking have it. But yeah, to that person that left that comment on the original series, that was actually on the original series, 1, thank you very much. 2, I know you're watching this because I saw your comment, so, well, 3, you may not exactly remember actually doing that. I'm fucking surprised you're even watching this, so... You remembered me. Somehow. I don't know, I'm like the least memorable fuck in this planet, so... Anyways, Embla was on that list, and it basically just means, like, this is the origin of every SCP. Like, it's the reason that it was created, or... basically the sheaf of papers? If it indeed is, like, creating the SCPs, and having that specific item class. Based around that, like, simple aspect of it, so... I'm not entirely sure why it has a different item class, but I guess it doesn't really matter in the end, so... I just realized my mouse is... Yeah, my mouse is on screen there. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't notice that. Just to be a cunt. Containment Procedures. SCP... Yeah, I'm literally leaving that there the entire time. I do not give a shit. SCP-001 is contained on the grounds of Site-0, in upstate Redacted. A fence has been constructed around the perimeter of SCP-001 observed effects. In addition to Site-0 security, no fewer than 5 armed guards are to be present at all times to prevent unauthorized entry. I thought the path would have been a bit bigger, but I guess not. The adjoining physics laboratory will be manned at all hours, studying any anomalies. Of the path or the SCPs that it creates? How would the path actually create SCPs? Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? A small metal plaque bearing an inscription will be maintained in good condition. Any damages to be immediately reported to maintenance. What the fuck does a plaque have to do with this? We're about to find out! At least I think we will. I don't actually remember a goddamn thing about a plaque in the first series. So... we may or may not actually find out. I do not know. Description. SCP-001 is a circular gravel path in a wooded area. When traveled in a counterclockwise direction, the trail is continuously uphill, even after reaching the original point. When traveled in a clockwise direction, the trail shows the same amount of uphill and downhill travel, as expected. Level 5 clearance is required to access SCP-001's experiment log. New members of Overseer Council are required to read Document 001-05. And that one's a lot longer than, well, like 3 paragraphs. Yeah, definitely a lot longer. Probably gonna be here a while. Oh, and if you think I'm doing what I did with the factory again, no. Fuck no. It took like an entire day to edit the visual aspect of it alone. And even then, it still took more than a day to edit all of it. I'm good. Like, this is supposed to be my relax series, so I'm gonna relax. Anyways, let's actually get to reading now. If you're reading this, then congratulations, one of us has died. Well, that's a way to start. Something killed one of us. A monster? Perhaps. Or a rival from the GOC. I think there's a group of interest thing here somewhere. I know, I'll look for that later, because I think I remember that tab being somewhere, so we'll look at that after this, I think. Or maybe we just got a little close to the flame, like Aaron. Who the fuck is Aaron? Not old age, of course. We took care of that, didn't we? Anyway, one of the old guard is gone. Maybe Jason, maybe Agnes, maybe me. Hell, I'd be surprised if I wasn't the next one to die. I always was the most expendable. Fucking same. I'm going to write this to you as though you were a human being. It will be the last time anyone extends you the courtesy. So I hope you appreciate it. Whoever you are, whatever you did before, you must have been high-ranking when you were pulled into this. You must have noticed the discrepancies, the inconsistencies. Now, I don't know how much you've been told already, or how much you've pieced together. The crux of the matter is this. The retrievals and recoveries of SCP objects are staged, or made up whole cloth. We have never discovered an SCP in the entire history of the Foundation. So, the path is creating the SCPs, but the Foundation... There's a lot to read, let's let it develop. We should start from the beginning. Let me tell you a story. All about how... No. Oh god, my body's allergic to horrible jokes. Aaron Siegel, I think, was a physicist studying at Cornell in 1891. He was a truly gifted individual, and had his life taken a different path, I believe that his name would be there with Edison, Einstein, and Hawking. I knew him very well. He was, and may still be, my brother. He was also an avid amateur naturalist adventurer. Well, I guess close enough. And enjoyed hiking through the woods. One day, while visiting our family home in Essex County, he came across a gravel path. He decided to follow it for a time, and noticed that it kept climbing uphill, far longer than it should have. It should have taken him above the nearby hills. Instead, he found himself back where he'd started, within a foot of downwards travel. Another man would have assumed his senses were faulty and left. However, Aaron was a stubborn man. I know I read that in the wrong order, don't worry about it. That was the most robotic I've ever sounded in my fucking life. He investigated further. He found that the path did not conform to the pure geometry of Euclid. Is that actually a geometrical thing? Oh, wow, it is. What the fuck does that have to do with the path? Study of plane and solid figures on basics of axioms and theorems employed by the Greek... We're just not gonna worry about it. Like security before him, he had found something aberrant to the nature of straight lines. He studied it. The equations he derived are part of the file you received. You'll learn them by heart eventually. He built a small shack nearby which served as a makeshift laboratory. His first experiments produced a key capable of opening any lock, now contained as SCP-005. Does that mean that the SCPs are filed, like, not in terms of which was found first, but whichever just gets filed first, and due to that, they get their number? That does actually make sense, because considering the fact that these are people that are making these files, they would probably see something else that is a lot more, well, dangerous, confusing, and outright fucking awesome. So, oh, fuck. But yeah, I honestly don't blame them for, like, keeping the skeleton key for last. Another question. How the fuck did he do experiments with a path that goes in a circle forever? Am I gonna get an answer for that one? Or... I have so many questions, yet I don't think I'm getting an answer to any one of them. Anyways, he brought in others. As his brother, I was one of the first he contacted. I was a medical student at Harvard at the time. I initially thought he was mad. But when he showed me the path, and the key, I had to learn more. There were others with us, other friends and colleagues. Most of them are gone now, but we were the core. We created the Foundation from around ourselves. In the beginning. God, that fucking video, I love it. There are just some videos that I fully endorse. That is one of them. Along with... You've been struck by... Now, part of me feels like I should be taking this a slight bit more seriously, but then the other part of me is just like, nah. Anyways, in the beginning, it was just about discovery, about finding the things we could do. We had such high hopes, such plans. We were going to change the world. We were going to save it from itself. We could feed the hungry, shelter the homeless, heal the sick and dying. Thomas Carter found us money. We were none of us poor, but we ran through our fortunes quickly. Thomas used his connections on Wall Street and in Washington to fund us. He showed them the least of what we could do, and promised heaven against the threat of hell. Agnes Peterson, my brother's fiancée, was the administrator. We knew nothing of how to run an organization. We were a herd of cats running to and fro, and she turned us into a foundation, putting us dreamers and madmen to the same yoke. We soon had a facility built, but we were still so secretive. As much as we wanted to shout from the rooftops what we had found, we were frightened too, that it would be taken from us. We told ourselves it was just for the interim? I'm gonna say interim. Until we were sure of our footing. We'd show them. Eventually. We'd show them all. We were careful, at first. We made small, inoffensive, or even helpful items. The Fountain of Youth, the bouncing ball, the Civil War statue. We grew more confident, and we started working on humans. The concrete man, he volunteered. Or the men with the abominable planet. Abdominal, not indomitable. Fucking help me. Just a drifter, but we made him something special, didn't we? So you have a man. And then... fuck. Okay, so you have a guy, and then you have a planet. And you somehow mix the two to get this guy. Fucking how? It was all so easy. Again, fucking how? Perhaps it seems absurd to get so many things from that one little break in reality. But it all flowed, one discovery to the next. It almost seemed like something was helping us along. But then, things started going a bit wrong. While he was playing with his equations, Aaron accidentally derived the missing number. In my laboratory, I found I'd made the zombie plague, but we weren't too invested in our projects, so we pushed ahead. Then came the pipe nightmare, in the stairwell. We knew we'd need more help. Okay, again, question. Spiral path that goes on forever leads to stairway. That I think also goes on forever. I don't know. I know the SCP, kinda, but I don't know anything about it. How does it work? How the fuck does one leading to the other work? It's a proposal. This could completely be bullshit. But why mention the stairway? Because that's kinda just fucking outs itself. Unless that was done on purpose, but I highly doubt it. Because why would it be done on purpose? Unless Dr. Mann is a woman. No. No, what if Dr. Mann is actually kind of like a spy on the inside? I highly doubt it, because they would be fucking... They're the brother of the person that really discovered the shit, so I highly doubt it, but I don't know. Just questioning things that don't seem to make sense. It's the SCP Foundation. When the fuck does it ever make sense? Anyway, getting back to fucking reading. Tsama showed what we'd done to the military. Told them we'd found these things. Discovered them. We made up names like Prometheus Labs and the Chaos Insurgency. They gave us funding, personnel. We built up and expanded outward. We repeated the cell in other countries. Some listened, some didn't. Enough did. We became an international organization. We brought in more researchers, though very few ever suspected we were the source of these items they studied. Sometimes we would arrange for an object to be found by a field team. Sometimes we would simply write the reports. We generated the paperwork, and we were the oversight. If we said a thing was, it was. It still is. There were still problems, of course. Jeremy and Thomas took one of our experiments and ran off with it. creating their ridiculous club. One of our researchers grew mad and started worshipping machines, escaping with enough knowledge to be dangerous. I really hope we run into that person at some point in the future, because that seems like an interesting story. Although granted, I'm pretty sure there was a period of time where a bunch of people did, and probably still do, worship 2B from Nier Automata, so... I guess we're all mad, aren't we? It's a mad world. Oh, goddammit. We still deal with the fallout of these splinter groups. Yeah, I'm not taking this one seriously whatsoever. After the fucking factory, I'm just going to just have a fun time. And also, I'm kind of going insane myself, so you know. So we contained them. We handled them. We couldn't stop. Surely you see that. Rather than more cautious, we grew bolder. I cut a little boy up and turned him into the flesh that hates. Okay, what horrible timing for that one. That's not a sentence I was expecting to read today, but I did. And it's fucked me right the way up. Shit. Also, flesh that hates. I've never heard that one. So, that one is... It's either going to be interesting or not. It could actually go either way, but I guess it depends on your own personal preferences, so we'll just have to see, eventually. Oh god, what if this series goes on so long that I've run out of SCPs to read? Oh god. Oh well, that's a probably improbable number of time away, so, you know, it's fine. There were reasons. There were always reasons. 231. We created her and her sisters. We took them from orphanages and arranged for what followed. And it was no accident. We knew what we were doing. There was a reason for it once, but I'll be damned if I can remember it now. None of us do. Except maybe my brother. Whatever he is now. We keep moving forward. Even after Abel. After the Blood Pond. After that damnable reptile. We still move forward with our work. What else can we do? Our only hope to survive the events we've set in motion is to understand better. To learn more. We're on the back of a terrible beast. And if we try to jump off now, we'll be crushed beneath. But that's not what frightens me. It isn't what should frighten you. We've maintained our foothold for over 100 years. The things I really worry about are the anomalies we didn't create. No, I was telling the truth the first time. We didn't discover any of them. But some of them, they aren't our work. They just were one day. They were in containment, and they've always been in containment. Don't you see? We're not in control anymore. Rather, we never were. So yeah, that took a weird turn at the end. The fuck? So first things first, like how the fuck does this path going in a circle forever lead to any SCPs? Like how does that work? How? It's like saying that quantum physics are the reasons for a bunch of shit in sci-fi. It's just because of the fact that the people writing the story don't want to fucking create a goddamn reason for it, or just aren't smart enough to know what the fuck they're talking about. Which is understandable, but at this point it's been used so many times that it's just fucking annoying. Now that is the end of the page, and I think originally I didn't understand why this was a 001, I guess, proposal. It's not actually a 001, but I didn't understand why this was 001, but I think that's just because my expectations of what a proposal would be was different than what they actually are. Because in reality, 001 proposals are supposed to be the reason for the Foundation being created, the catalyst for this entire fucking thing. But in my head, they were just items that fucking were so powerful they could destroy the entire world in the blink of an eye. That sort of thing. But they obviously are not, and that's evident with the first fucking one, which I'm not sure why my expectations were still so fucking high. Or not high, but like in a different place entirely. But still, I think I just need to get that a bit in check, and I think I will see these SCPs in a bit of a brighter light, because I do think that this is interesting, but I think it's dragged down a bit by the simple fact that it says, hey, we did experiments, but doesn't even bother, like, giving a slight bit of detail on it. Like, granted, that does make sense in universe, but still. Although I guess, granted, the mind is probably the most powerful tool of a human. Most definitely the most powerful tool of a human. So, letting them, like, go wild with their imagination could very well just go fucking many places. So, just saying, we did experiments. How we did it? Well, that's up for you to fucking figure out, isn't it? And I think, like, possibly using... Well, yeah, possibly using other SCPs, as well as other, like, knowledge of the SCP Foundation as a whole, could lead to some interesting theories on how the fuck a path that went in a circle forever leads to a stairway that possibly goes forever. I still have no idea what that SCP is, because I'm not going to look it up. That's the worst part about this. I cannot look up SCPs at all. God, I just realized that now. Fuck me. Man, now I'm interested in just ending the series so I can look up SCPs whenever the fuck I want. Oh, God. Well, regardless, I've started the series, so I kind of just have to finish it now. I mean, I'm probably not even going to finish the Alien Isolation series, because nobody gives a shit about that. Which sucks, because I recorded it, like, for 6 hours, and I have all of that footage that I could possibly edit, but at the same time, could just not bother with, so... That's nice. I'd move on to another game, but still, those 6 hours. It's like a mix of, I don't want to fucking edit these 6 hours, but also, I fucking recorded these 6 hours, so I oughta, like, I put the effort in. I swear, I need to send a letter to my complaint department just saying, stop fucking dying, you prick. Goddamn. Honestly, knowing me, I'd probably just get a letter response saying, no, fuck you. So... That seems like something I would do. But yeah, anyways, that is the end of this video, because there's not really anything else that I want to say. GOC. Nearly forgot about that. Okay, so I did find a, like, list of, the groups of interest. That is actually a thing on the site. The problem with that, though, is the fact that I kind of have to use a different, like, color scheme, because, well, if I use the Matrix, which is this one, for some reason it turns into this. It's a fucking flashbang, and I hate it. Not only that, but it's also kind of hard to read, like, this, and this. I barely even fucking saw that one. Yeah, so, I kind of need something that people can actually fucking read. So instead, we're just going to be going with this color scheme, because it's a lot nicer on the eyes. And every other one was fucking useless. So, you know, we're just going to go with this. Now, it said that well, no, it said, like, it was a rival from the GOC. So I would assume the GOC in general is a rival of the SCP Foundation. That's sort of what I'm thinking as of right now, but we're about to find out. Overview. The GOC was created in the aftermath of World War II, from the remnants of defecting occultists, psychics, priests, and scientists from Nazi, Soviet, and Allied states, brought together and formed by the Allies. As the world stage broadened, so too did the number of countries that had their hands in the GOC, until it became what it is today. The GOC are a largely political force, seeing themselves as the police of the paranormal world. They pride themselves on destroying supernatural entities, and make use of the most high-tech experimental technology possible, obtained from their benefactors. Many potential SCPs have been destroyed by them before the Foundation could attain and contain them. They have been both on the side of the Foundation and against it at times, depending on the situation. They largely hold the Foundation in contempt for the use and containment of SCP items, rather than their out-and-out destruction. The GOC has respected the Foundation's formidable might, enough to leave it mostly alone, although there have been some questionable incidents with which the GOC have strictly denied involvement. Agents of the GOC are to be treated with suspicion. So yes, it is indeed essentially the opposite of the SCP Foundation, because the SCP Foundation, as everybody knows, is secure, contain, protect, but this one is find, fuck it up, and bury. So, yeah, okay. I was going to say where's the GOC Foundation website, but then I realized it would just be blacked out and say decommissioned over every single one, so yeah, I don't think that that website would be interesting, rather, so I'm kinda glad we don't have it. Someone's probably made that. Ah, disguising yourself as an education system in America. Not bad, as it's also very evil. Very interesting. Stop looking at me like that. Stop. We're gonna get off the site now. I don't want to. No. But yeah, I will leave this video off here. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video, whenever that shall be. And I believe that will be the Legacy, which I believe I was mistaking with the database. No, it was the other way around. I think I was mistaking the database with the Legacy, but I'm not entirely sure. But we're gonna find out in the next video, whenever that'll happen. Actually, I don't know, because I'm kind of behind on recording videos and editing them, so... Oh shit, this is gonna be a rough few days for me. But anyways, I will leave this video off here. Thank you all for watching, yada yada. I'm repeating myself. See ya! Sometimes you just gotta rush through the outro, because you wanna... I don't know, just get it over with. I don't know, fucking put me out of my misery myself. Being manned at all hours, studying any anomalies. Alright? I don't know how straws managed to be one of the most convenient and inconvenient inventions ever. Because not only does it help prevent spills, but it also limits the amount of liquid that you can intake, and I fucking hate that because it feels like I have to suck out the entire fucking soul of humanity in order just to get a single fucking drop. I hate it. And besides, the skills don't even fucking transfer, so you know.